Welcome back to the 7th installment of Do These Albums Have Any Skips? This is a staple at NFR Podcast where Lou and I go through different track lists and we tell you guys, is there any skips on these albums? And if this is your first time watching Do These Albums Have Any Skips, we've done so many different versions of this, so you guys could go visit the catalog on this YouTube channel and go check those other ones out and hit the subscribe button if this is your first time watching NFR Podcast. But Lou, I Am Music, better known as Music, that's the official title now. Is there any skips on this album for you?
The question isn't, are there any skips on this album? It's how many skips do you have on this album? I think
What's the count?
I think even the most diehard Playboi Carti fan is going to at least have 1 or 2 skips on this album. For myself, it might be on the higher end. What do you think I have? How many? If you think I guess.
Oh, shit.
How many do you
I do
think I
like an
have?
over or under here?
Yeah, go.
Okay, so let's say over 15.
You think I have over 15?
I think you have over
no,
15.
I have 10 skips on this
I
album.
got 7.
Yeah, so we're around
okay,
the same thing.
ballpark, okay?
I think the second half of the album is definitely weaker, and that's where a lot of my skips is where you'll find them. But read me through your skips. What do you got?
Okay, well, let's start off. First one we're going to agree on, Pop Out. That's a skip.
Yeah, sounds like they ran that beat through a garbage compactor.
Okay.
That's what that is.
Charge Them Hoes a Fee. That's another one.
That's in my list too, yes.
Okay. Jumpin'. That's another one that I got.
Jumpin', do I have Jumpin'?
I have Jumpin' as a skip.
Yeah,
You have it?
I do.
All right.
I do.
How about Twin Trim?
Actually, I don't have Jumpin' as a skip. No. Twin Trim is a skip for sure.
Okay. How about Overly? I got Overly as well. That's a
Overly's a skip, yep.
skip. Okay. Walk. That's for sure a skip.
Walk is a skip, even though the beat's fire. Cardi just didn't
The beat is
deliver.
good. I just didn't like his flow on that song. And then after that, South Atlanta Baby.
Salana Baby, yes. Olympian.
No, I like that song.
You like
now.
Olympian now?
I like that song now.
We
I
gave
love
it like
the
a
beat.
bad rating or
I
something
know
in the
it's
tier
one
list.
it's one that's just I don't know. It's weird. Like it's grown on me. I fucks with
it. Ain't it.
I like it.
It ain't it.
Songs like Wheezy. Do you have like Wheezy as a skip?
I don't.
Okay, good.
I think it's decent.
I really like Wheezy. That beat is awesome. It's very euphoric. And then after that, what are your 2 other ones?
One that you didn't mention that I thought you would is Backdoor, bro. I'm sorry. That is not a good melodic hip-hop song.
yes.
Like, the beat's nice, but...
I like the beat, bro. I really like the
not
production,
enough.
and I've been coming around
It's
to
not
the Kendrick
enough.
feature. I like the Kendrick feature on it. I'm cool with it. What else do you
It's
have
an
at
L.
that point?
Crank is the other one.
Why don't you like Crack? I love the energy on that song.
Again, we gave it a mid or bad rating in the tier list. My thoughts didn't change, like, from a couple of days ago. And, yeah, honestly speaking, it's just repetitive Cardi flows and too much Swamp Izzo. Like, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, it's
for
true.
me.
It's a bit of a soup with the Swamp Izzo ad-libs.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, I don't really skip it when I listen to the album. So I got 7.
I got 10.
Lou has 10. Okay,
All right, GNX by Kendrick Lamar. If you would have told me that Kendrick was dropping a brand new album that only had 12 songs on it, I would say you're crazy for predicting a skip being on the album, but that's not the case, bro. We are entering into skip territory with this album.
Oh, of course we are.
Okay.
How many do you got?
First things first that we have to address before
we change the conversation here,
before we
fucko.
speak about the amount
Don't
of
fucking
skips.
change the conversation.
The conversation is this, all right? You had a stinky, smelly, dirty fucking take about Luther being
It's
a
not
skip.
here.
All right, you
We
woke
moved
up.
on.
You got the shit out of your ears. You did it. You cleaned your ears out of the shit. Good for you, buddy. Listen, obviously Luther's not a skip. I got 2 skips here.
Okay, I got GNX.
GNX, the title track.
Garbanzo
easy
beans.
skip.
Beans.
Bro, like
Beans.
those delayed drums.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
Even
God.
the Kendrick vocals, bro, how he's like being a hype man for 3 different rappers. Not for me.
The drums sound hammered on this song, and you're right. Kendrick barely plays a role. So what do you want to get out of it?
Skipperoni and cheese. Did you
Dodger
think
Blue.
No.
That's the one.
No.
That's the one.
It's not a skip.
It's a skipper.
It's not a skip. I like it.
It's a very short song. The beat is cool. I get people love it because it's an
I
LA
like the
tribute
I
song.
also like the Roddy feature on it too.
The same way that I've been harsh on, let's say, someone like Drake for like a sleepy singing performance, I gotta treat it the same way here. Kendrick's performance
This reminds me
is
of like
awful.
a yeah.
It's a really bad Kendrick performance where it's so uneventful. There's nothing cool about the melodies. There's nothing catchy.
It's a
like,
song that you write out to. That's the way that I like it. I like those calm performances
he's
from Drake and
coasting,
Kendrick.
bro.
But that's what the song is, bro. He's literally fucking coasting.
Walk, tiptoe. Sorry, I'm not getting anything out
Anyways,
of that.
I'll take Dodger Blue. And that's pretty much it. I have one
So
skip.
one skip, I have 2.
I have one skip on this.
All right, Hurry Up Tomorrow by The Weeknd.
None.
You can't even tell me that you skip the skits like I Can't Fucking Sing or Until We're Skin and
Were
Bones.
you lenient with the skits in this episode?
With the skits, I mean, I always try to be, I wouldn't say lenient is the right word, but I try to be fair with skits, especially if they play into like the sequencing of the album like they do on Hurry Up Tomorrow. I'm going to appreciate those skits. That
You
being
don't have
said,
a skip, though.
That being said, I will say this. I don't know if we constitute this a skip or not, but as you guys know, if you've watched any of our coverage of this roll-off for the weekend, initially, before the album came out, I wasn't huge on Sao Paulo. All right? That being said, this is a very long album. And when I play it in the car, I like to play it from beginning to end.
It's arguably the best dog song on this album.
Let me finish talking. When I listen to this album, I listen from start to finish in the car. And sometimes my drive will be maybe 30 minutes to where I'm going and 30 minutes back. I don't have time to listen to the whole album all the time. And when that happens, when I'm on those longer drives and I want to bump the album, I'll sometimes skip Sao Paulo so that I can make it to the Without Warning and like those latter end tracks. Because if I can't listen to all 20-something songs, sometimes I'll skip Sao Paulo. Even though I think it's a club banger, I think that it's a great song, sometimes I'll skip it.
Arguably the best car song on this album. You skip it while you're in the car.
I've done it.
What's the logic behind that?
I literally just gave you an explanation.
Yes, but the logic doesn't make sense. You
I don't know if you still have shit in your ears, bro. From the Luther tape,
like you said, give me time to speak. I'll give you my explanation. You said that when you're in the car, you got 30 minutes to go there, right? I don't have shit in my ears. That's what you said.
30 minutes there and 30 minutes back. So I have 60 minutes of listening with that album.
Okay, so there's the context.
So I can't choose every song.
So, okay, hold on.
I can't get through every song.
Let me focus on your point here. Give me the time. So you got 60 minutes to get there, right? You're in the car in a car setting.
Yep.
You want good music.
I'm not in the club, brother. I'm not in the club, brother.
Bro, this song goes fucking stupid on your speakers. How, bro? That Mike Dean production towards the end it's gross.
It's a great song, but again, I'd rather get to the abysses and the Without a Warnings on my drives. That's what it comes down to.
But you can't say that. This is a skip because you just rather go to other places on the track
but that's what I said. That's what I said. It's not a bad song, but I said the reality is I've skipped this song. Is it a skip? That's up to you.
Beans take.
But I've skipped it before, even though it's a great song. Next up, we have Some Sexy Songs for You by Drake and Party Next Door. And man, I gotta tell you, this album became a graveyard for me pretty much immediately after it came out. I went back to the album for this episode, and unfortunately, I pretty much feel the same way I did, bro.
Do you think it's the middies?
Of course.
Think it's the middies?
I think you'd be crazy not to think that, such as yourself.
I think it's a good album. I think it's solid.
I think I'll say this, though. What's sad about this album to me is that there's songs that have good moments, but that are still skips to me because the moments are so brief. Like, for example, PND's "You're Doing That Thing, You're Doing That Thing." That chorus on Mothballs is amazing, but that's the only good part of the song.
I love Mothballs.
It's not enough to save the song.
Sure not. Okay, so let's get down to it, bro. Start the slander. What do you got?
You good? I don't know if you have to clear your voice, but
what do you got?
Listen, I want to say this. This is breaking. This is a breaking record. This is history in the making for Do These Albums Have Any Skips in this series. The most skips I've ever given an album is for Some Sexy Songs for You. I have 14 skips on this album. It is a record, bro. Crazy.
I expected it. I got 4.
Wow, that is terrible, bro. There's only 4 songs you're skipping. What are you listening to? Spider-Man, Superman?
No, that's one of them.
Oh my God.
I'll go through them.
You're listening to Celibacy?
No, that's one of them as well.
Okay, are you listening to Lasers?
I am. Spider-Man, Superman, that's out of here. Meet Your Padres out of here. Celibacy is out of here. Glorious is out of here. Rest of the album I enjoy. I listen. I know you don't fuck with it, but like, just don't trash me for fucking with the album. CN the Tower.
I'm sorry.
Mothballs. I fuck with.
Sorry for you being too lenient with albums that are clearly not good, bro.
Well,
like,
what do you want me to do? Because it doesn't match up to your taste.
No, because it's not a good album, bro. It's one of your craziest takes. But anyways, I'll give you my 14
dude, like,
skips.
I didn't come into this album and like have my expectations rooted. I think it's solid for what they did. They dropped a collab album. I keep a lot of songs off of it. I do like Drake's performances throughout this project, and I think there's memorable tracks on this track list. I like going back to CN Tower. I like going to Mothballs. I like Something About You. I like Deeper. I like Small Town Fame. I even like Pimmy's Interlude. I love that song. I like Brian Steele. I like Give Me a Hug. I like.
You know what? I'll say this. I'd cut you some slack if you were like a new Drake fan who doesn't know what good R&B Drake sounds like. But you know what it sounds like, so it makes it even more delusional.
But it's
of
not
you.
that, bro. Like,
Anyways,
it's not 2015 and he's delivering jungles, bro. My bad. But like that's the thing is that I understand you don't like it. I'm not calling you out on it. Like I get it why you don't fuck with the album. Just don't call me delusional because I fuck with this project.
As someone that knows what good Drake singing sounds like,
but you've seen me bump this album.
Anyways, my 14 skips: CN Tower, Mothballs, Something About You, Crying in Chanel, Spider-Man, Superman, Raining in Houston, Lasers, Meet Your Padre, Die Trying, Celibacy, On My Way, Glorious, When He's Gone, and Greedy. That's it. Those are my skips.
You don't like Die Trying?
Nope. Sounds like an Ed Sheeran pop song with Drake and PND vocals. It's one of the ones that is better than like the rest, but I'll still skip it. I'm still not trying to listen to that in 2025. Next up.
But wait, hold on. With this album, did you expect like an album full of like
Jungles? No, I didn't. I expected like at least like passable like performances, and I didn't get that. Next album, Kids See Ghosts by Kanye West and Kid Cudi.
None.
A project with some actual effort put into it, unlike some sexy songs for you. We're dealing with another perfect album here, just like Hurry Up Tomorrow, where obviously there's songs that I listen to more than others. Like I'm not always going out of my way to like single out, let's say, Free or Kids See Ghosts the way that I am for Reborn, for example, if I want to play something loose. But when I'm listening to that album, I'm not skipping anything. On the same page?
I don't. It's already fucking 7 songs. What do you want me to skip, bro?
Yeah.
I skipped like 2 songs. I've already skipped like low-key half the album almost. So no, it's a perfect album. We gave it a perfect score on the Patreon plan. By the way, it's there if you guys want to see it. I think we could maybe drop the link for you guys to go watch that album review. But yeah, no skips on this one. Next up, American Dream by 21 Savage. I'm surprised we didn't bring this into a previous installment for like a 2024 episode. Right?
I was looking back through the old list and I'm like,
we didn't bring this
not
in
here. That's crazy.
But this one was an easy one for me. I have 2 on this one. What do you
Only
got?
2. I got 6 skips out of 15 songs. It's not horrible.
Fair enough. Okay, let's pull up this track list for a second. Let's see what we're working with.
I'm going to be honest. Pop Your Shit with Young Thug is really disappointing. It's a bottom of the barrel Metro Boomin beat.
I like it, though. I love
21's flows and the one-liners are weak, and it takes too long to get to Thug, who's the best part of the song for me. So that's a skip. What else you got?
Well, what else you got? I got 2, and I think you probably already know them.
Listen, this is personal preference, right? This is an introspective cut. But I do not go to 21 Savage for these types of songs, even though I love seeing the growth and the evolution and the maturity in the writing. Letters to My Brother is not a song that I want to revisit. I don't want to revisit that
songs
song.
On American. No,
it's cool, but it doesn't do much for me.
I love that song. Okay, so what are you up to? You up to like 2 now?
I'm up to 2. My other skips fall all on the melodic side of the album on that second half.
Yeah, for sure. Did you skip Red Sky?
Nope.
I didn't skip that. Did you skip Dark Days?
I did not.
I did not either. I think those are really strong cuts.
Those are good cuts. See the Real is an easy skip for me.
That's a skip.
Prove It featuring Summer Walker.
That's another skip. I got 3 realistically. Sorry.
Okay.
I got Prove It. I got Should Have Wore Bonet, and then after that, I have See the Real. Those are the 3 that I have. I skipped the melodic cuts off of this album.
Yeah.
And then after that, you'll find me on like a lot more of the trap-centric songs and shit that I go to 21 Savage for.
Should Have Wore Bonet also was a skip, but then just like me with Burna Boy, you didn't put that as a skipper?
No, I like it. I like the
Okay.
Burna Boy performance in the first half of it.
Fair enough.
But going on to the Brent Faiyaz feature on Should Have Wore Bonet, I just found it like an awkward placement for this track list. And I just felt like they did it to do it right. Then Summer Walker has a nice performance, don't get me wrong, on Prove It, but that should have just been a Summer Walker song. Like, I'm not going to 21 Savage for that, but maybe there's a demographic for it. I'm sure there is if he's putting them on the album, but those would be my skips.
It's just like, I don't know, 21 Savage with the melodic shit, it's just...
It feels weird. I don't think his vocals
just
match
because
for it, you know?
just because you love playing ball doesn't mean that you can become a pro ball player. You know what I mean? Where it's like he keeps knocking on that door of like wanting to make more R&B music and like trying to get more melodic. It hasn't worked up to this point for me, and I don't think it ever will. Because he has such
a menacing cadence, and he has a sort of raspiness to his voice, and he also has sort of like a monotone, cutthroat delivery. Where I feel like when he gets onto those R&B records, he just makes them feel a bit uneventful, right? And it feels awkward for a 21 Savage performance.
That or he abuses the auto-tune, bro. It's like one of the two. So
it really gets nasty
tough.
with it,
but all right. Born Sinner by J. Cole. We've done a lot of J. Cole albums within the Skip series.
But we've never done this one.
Never done this one. And it's interesting because it's actually J. Cole's longest album.
But I will say this. I had this in my top 5 most played albums of 2024 on my replay. I don't skip a song on here, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. It's a skipless album. There's not a weak song here. It's one of his most underrated projects, bro. I listen, Illuminati, you're out of your fucking mind if you're skipping that song. Top 15 J. Cole song of all time. You could say that you're not going to, Kearney Sermon, you're not going to Where's Jermaine, but I didn't look at the skips, and even at that, Where's Jermaine goes into Forbidden Fruit.
That's
so
it. Like,
I like the transition, right?
Even the skits and interludes play well into the album. I'm gonna say this too. I feel like some people might go to like some of the pop leaning songs, like
A Power
Trip or She Knows or Crooked Smile, but those have aged
records.
extremely well in my opinion.
And they're wonderful aux songs.
Timeless choruses, great samples within them. So I didn't go there. I don't have any skips.
I don't either.
On Born Sinner.
I love Chaining Day. I love the hunger of that song. Let Nas Down. That's a classic song for J. Cole's catalog. Born Sinner, the outro track. Great rapping performance on there. Mo Money, the interlude. Bro, you could play that song on loop and it feels like one big extended song. I love the beat behind that one. Runaway is great. I love the hook on that track. No skips.
You know what's crazy
Sinner
though
has
is
no
that I'm
skips.
thinking about it now. If you look at every other album that we've thrown into the mix from Cole, I think this is the first skipless album because For Your Eyes Only had the fold and close.
For sure.
Right? Then you had 2014 Forest Hills Drive. I don't know if you had it, but I had Hello in there.
Yes, of course. That's a skip.
Then you go back to Sideline Story, Mr. Nice Watch.
Yeah, then after that, the off season has something like an Amari that will skip or Pride is a Devil.
There you go.
It's
the first skipless album from Cole.
I can make the argument that like this is like top 3 in his catalog.
It's really that good.
It's a really, really, really good album, bro. There's a nice pop element to it as well. There's deep written tracks. It has a ton of replay value. Yeah, it's a huge fucking W in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Melt My Eyes, See Your Future by Denzel Curry, and this album's already been out for 3 years, which is crazy to me. But already one of the most celebrated rap albums of this decade. But does it pass the skips test?
It does for me. I go start to finish on this bad boy, and I've done it multiple times. I don't have even something like Zaytoki, for example, which I was really looking at. I listen to that song whenever it comes on. I do like it. I like the energy from Slow Tie and from Denzel. Great performances all across the board. I really have no problems with this. Even some of the more low key songs, like an Angels or the Ills, like
no way.
There. Those are some of the strongest. But that's what I'm trying to say though, is that maybe for some like mainstream hip hop fans, they'll go to the most like popular songs like an X-Wing or an Ain't No Way, which I don't skip either. But like the more low-key tracks on this album as well, those are mainstays within my rotation.
I will say this, there were 2 songs in this album that did take me a bit of a while to like warm up to. One of them being X-Wing, just because of those inflections on the chorus sounding so similar to Baby Keem. But the song goes hard as fuck, especially the production.
How about Ain't No Way?
Ain't No Way I always loved as a posse
That was one
cut.
that kind of had to grow on me.
Okay, and then Troubles with T-Pain was always one where I was unsure. And
I like it though.
while I do think it ranks towards the bottom of the track list,
There's a nice groove on it.
It's a fun song. I think that it's warm, it's lighthearted. It fits.
It does fit the project.
No skips.
No
on
skips
My
on this
Eyes.
one.
No. Next up, the Eminem Show by Eminem.
Classic.
I want to say this, bro. Even the B-sides like Soldier and When the Music Stops and Square Dance and Say Goodbye Hollywood, like those songs are incredible.
I have a Square Dance as a skip. I skip Square Dance.
Really? You don't like?
I don't like this.
Then that's your only skip.
No, I got 3.
Okay.
Now
we're talking.
How many do you got?
I got 2 skips.
Square Dance for me. I like the
love Square
verses. I like
Dance.
the production. For me, it's the hook. The hook is annoying.
That's it. That's enough to just abolish those amazing verses.
It's the that's the screeching behind the voice.
No,
Come
man,
on,
it's
bro.
not enough.
Go back to that chorus and tell me you got.
I listened
You can't
to
tell
it.
me. No, you can't, Lou. Don't play that around me. Square Dance is a
Come
skip.
on, let's go. I'll get down. Come on, bro.
No. My Dad's Gone Crazy. That's a skip for me.
Yes.
And then after that, Haley's song is a skip.
Those are my 2 skip. Haley songs and my dad's gone crazy.
I got 3 of them.
I like the Haley themed songs usually, like 97 Bonnie and Clyde, for example. But
And
these
Haley's
ones,
song
these
is actually
ones,
decent. I just don't like the singing on it.
yeah, they felt forced for the album. It's like, okay, well, we got to include Haley in this one. Like it felt like he was kind of pulling at straws. So not bad for a 20-song track list to have 3 skips on your end, 2 on mine.
There we go. All right, next up, Huncho Jack Huncho by Travis Scott and Quavo, released back in 2017. Super sought after. I remember when this came out, people were foaming at the mouth because they were at some of the peak of their powers of popularity and like really entering the game and making not only accessible music, but being music that like people of any sort of consumption could really enjoy. And with Huncho Jack, there was this hazy, drugged out theme that was prominent throughout all of it. It has sort of like a Western vibe to it as well. There's this constant aesthetic throughout it. Wonderful sample flips all throughout it. I have 1 though.
I have only one skip too, and I will say this: this album is heavily underrated. We recently put it into a King of the Hill episode on the Plus channel, and it did damage. But people were saying like, "Oh, you guys are overrating it," but no, like this is a really like in terms of the production, it's super creative.
Like, bro, like
the chemistry is fantastic. The samples, getting like Mac DeMarco samples on the album, like really solid collab.
Do you agree
album.
with this take? Do you think Huncho Jack Huncho's on the same level as Birds? I could comfortably say I do.
Close.
It's around there.
Maybe not quite, but close.
Like, it doesn't have the ends or a way back.
That's
but
it.
it has that replay value for me. You know, this is an album that you do start to finish on. And
it has the Moon Rocks and the How You Feels, you know?
For
like
sure. It has the
highs.
Goes. It has the Sailor on Masks.
No, Goes my skip. There you go. You said it.
I have Best Man as a skip.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that song.
It's an awkward performance from Quavo.
I don't
It feels like a
find-
filler. Like, they could have ended the track list.
No,
off
that was
without
a
Best Man.
fitting outro. Go, on the other hand, has some really off-key flutes. Production-wise, it was just
I love
mismanaged.
the whole, like, Quavo refrain,
also,
go.
like the go.
I
Like that
like
is
this.
so annoying. It goes way too far, too long. He has a really nice last verse, but it's just not enough to save it, and just doesn't have the replay value for me. So it goes my skip.
All right. I have Best Man.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a bit of a longer song as well. It's 4 minutes and a half. And by the time I get towards the end of the track list, it's definitely bottom tier on this album. I'm out of there. It's one of the most uneventful songs on the entire
It is on
track
the
list.
weaker end, but I don't skip
I
it.
get it out of there, and I like Go. I like that repetition from Quavo. But let's go on to from the private collection of Saba and No ID, new 2025 release. And it was awesome to see two Chicago natives come together, especially No ID being from, you know, the classic Chicago scene, right? Someone that built up, you know, so many different artists from that Chicago scene back in the 90s and mid 2000s, coming together with Saba, who has been low-key carrying the Chicago scene on the conscious hip-hop side of things for the better part of like 5 years now. Right? Think about what Saba's doing. Think about what No Name was doing. But he's really at the forefront for it right now. And going into this album, no skips for me. Skipless.
Yeah, man, I love the passionate, conscious rap.
How much better is this album after the live album reaction?
Oh yeah, it's fucking great,
Bro, I love this album.
I love the 2000s R&B vibes, the insane live instrumentation, the sampling from No ID and Company, just amazing. And I don't think the album's perfect. Like, there's definitely certain things that I don't fuck with within the album. Like, for example, the tempo of the snares on something like Big Picture, which conflicts with Saba's rhythm. But song for song, there are no bad songs on this album.
And
Super
this,
concise,
yeah, this is something
easy
that-
listen.
It's 41 minutes, right?
Yep.
Like, you want to go from start to finish on this bad boy. And the highs are so high on this.
No skips.
All right, let's continue on this Cilvia Demo. I don't even know why we put this in here. Why did you do it?
You know why? Because
Why did you want to do it?
it's one of those classic, like, no skip projects that it needs to be said that this is a skipless album.
Bananas in rotation all the time. Brad Jordan's there. Shot you down. What do you want to do? Bro?
Everything,
Webby
bro.
flow? Like, what the fuck? Find me
Rest
a
in
skip.
peace, Kevin Miller. I mean, it just feels like
Modest soliloquy.
that's the thing about this project. It feels like every single song is just like a vignette of Zay's life, like these intimate, fleeting snapshots of his experiences, his emotions, his upbringing, where it's like it all fits together. Like, taking out one of these songs from this album or not
Would be
listening to it.
detrimental.
Yeah, bro. Like,
And the sequencing is perfect on this album as well, right? Like, think about the way everything's put together. Think about going from like soliloquy into modest. I love that transition, right? So you don't even something like Heavenly Father, which is the most, you know, it's one of the most important songs of Zay's career. But the way that that's placed in the middle of the track list, like, I love this album from
the
start
West
to finish.
Savannahs and the SZA collaborations
For
add a
sure.
nice like little change up to the track list halfway through, which is really nice. I just think that it's one of those albums where every song.
I still think it's his best project up to this point.
I think so too. Every song feels essential on Cilvia Demo, so no skips. Next up, Business is Business by Young Thug, his latest studio album, the album that came out once he was still locked up at that point in time, and Metro Boomin had a big role in just helping put together the album. And listen, bro, he did a pretty good job, but like most Thug projects, there's skips.
There are skips. I got 3.
I got 3 as well.
I got Abracadabra with Travis. That's a skipperoni for me.
Bro, you recently said it wasn't, and I'm like,
But I went back to it
yeah,
and like
no
I
fucking kidding.
Yeah, like listening to that Young Thug flow to start off the song, it's really awkward. It's uneventful.
Yeah.
Even the production is a bit underwhelming on the track itself. I'm not going back to that. Hoodie with B Slime and Lil God. Get that out of here.
I actually like Hoodie.
I don't like it.
I'm
all worried about that track.
Cool verses.
And then after that, Global Access with Nate Royce. I'm out of there.
That's another one where like it's some better writing from Thug.
Yeah, but like I'm not.
I like the more uplifting vibes. My skips: Gucci Grocery Bag, Lazy Hook,
No.
Stale Flows,
Sounds like a slime language installment.
Abracadabra with Travis, just
agree on
unleashes
that.
these strange moans and extended shrieks. Just, I'm all for Weird Young Thug. That's too much for me to handle. And then Went Through It.
Oh, I love Went Through It.
Nah.
Why?
His vocals sound so raspy, and you have this dated club
Yeah,
beat.
but it's just an emotional like performance too, and like that banging beat in the back. I like that.
Nothing exciting about it. For me.
But yeah, anyways, those
Three
are my
skips.
skips. I got 3 skips.
All
on
right,
this one.
next up we have Lab Cabin California by the Far Side, a classic 90s West Coast album that
I love this album.
deserves more conversation. This is one of my favorite West Coast rap albums ever, and honestly speaking, since a lot of this has to do with like replay value, I've come to the realization, bro, that I've played this album more than something like The Chronic, bro. Like, I've really had it that
I've
much
abused
in
this.
rotation.
I will say this: I have skips on here though.
I have you have skips on this?
I got 3,
Oh my god.
but they're none of the like. They're none
That's
of
horrible, bro. That is this is a skipless album. This is one of your
Little
worst
D,
takes,
all
bro.
live and it's all good. But they're all the, it's all
How?
the
What's
skips.
wrong with them, bro? What's
It's
wrong
like a
with
minute and a
something
half,
like all
and they're just
good?
talking. Like I'm just like, okay, like I can
Well,
get
yeah,
past this.
it's the same way where we were talking about how
I don't
like
think
when it
there's-
comes to skits on A Born Sinner or Hurry Up Tomorrow,
Yeah, but the
they
transitions
play
into
into
the
the
songs,
album.
like I just like even going back, I really focus on the transitions of these skits, and they're low key useless.
You are bugging out, bro.
Why? Because I say I'm skipping skits on an album. I'm bugging out. I'm literally saying that every single song on this album is fucking crazy. I just skip the skits
But
because they're useless.
They're not
I'm
useless.
sorry. I don't
There's-
want to
There's
fucking
so
hear
much
them talking
humor
to
in
me
the
for.
skits. There's actually comedy within
I'm not
the skits.
fucking watching an
the
Adam
same
Sandler
way that you.
movie. I want to listen to.
Oh, Ken Kniff, you're gonna skip? Like no,
yeah,
bro.
I skip Ken Kniff. I don't want to fucking listen to Ken
I'm
Kniff
just
from
saying, if you
Connecticut.
if
talking
you want
on
to
a
get
payphone.
if you want to get the full vision of an album, like I'm not going out of my way to like skip
I'm not
a song,
in the car
bro.
listening to Lab Cabin California, wanting to see the full
If
extensive
I'm
comedic
listening
value
to a
of the
Far
skit.
Side album, I'm letting
Get
it
the fuck outta
ride.
here.
I'm letting
Get
it
the
ride.
fuck outta
Fuck
here.
you.
I don't
man.
go to Little D and then be like, oh, well, I'm gonna put this on because I want to get comedic value. No, I'm there for the hip hop performances. I'm there for the
Nah,
songs.
man, you're
I
bugging.
skip the skits.
Um,
I'm sorry, guys.
Well, you don't skip and Hurry Up Tomorrow, so you're kind of just
but
sounding.
there's no skits on Hurry Up Tomorrow,
Yes,
low
there
key,
is.
bro. They're all segues.
I
They're
can't
all...
fucking sing. You're not gonna count it as a skip.
But dude, it's 5 seconds.
It's like 15 seconds.
Yeah,
Why
bro,
don't you skip it?
'cause
It's
it's
15
useless.
seconds of your life. It's useless.
No.
It doesn't play into the
It's
album.
because it's
Fuck
a
you,
90s
bro.
album for Luke. It's a
Listen,
staple within the
let me
genre.
say
I gotta
this
do
though.
my
I
civic
feel
duty
like
to listen
when
to
it
these.
comes to Lab Cabin
Do you feel like you got to
California,
do a civic duty to listen to these skits because it's
No,
a
I-
90s
I-
classic?
I really
album?
don't.
It's, Lou
I
wants the
don't.
points.
I
He doesn't want to say that there's a skip on.
I've said in the past, Ready to Die had a skip because they're literally smashing
Let's
on
get
the
outta
album. Fuck you. Anyways, back to Lab Cabin California. Enough of your stupidity. I feel like this album deserves more love because people just focus on Runnin'. They know it as like the album for Runnin', but they don't talk about.
Well, it's the album for running.
Sure, but it's way more than that. Looking at a song like The End, one of the best hip hop outros of all time, the beautiful existential messaging there. Looking at She Said and that Fat Lip verse, and looking at
Beautiful song.
a song like Moment in Time and how amazing the writing is. Not only are you getting vibey music, but you're getting amazing messaging all the way throughout. And a lot of it's thanks to Jay Dilla's involvement, bro. He did amazing
The Jay
work.
Dilla production on this is one of
Yeah.
the best produced West Coast hip hop albums of all time.
Yeah.
But okay, let's end
Skipless
off.
album.
3 skips for me, which are the skits. Lou wanted to do
L.
his civic duty. He wanted to pay his taxes to the hip hop
His
genre
taxes?
today. Lou wanted to pay his taxes to the
Taxes.
Let's go with The Life is Beautiful, Larry June, 2 Chainz, and The Alchemist. By the way, they dropped a wonderful interview around this album and the creation around it and just the intent with it. And apparently, The Alchemist finds it corny to label artists as a trap rapper, as someone that focuses on more boom bap, but like, I don't know. Like, you think about 2 Chainz, you don't think of him as a conscious rapper. Do
It's
you?
just honest. It's just a way to describe the music, bro. Like if you're making trap music, I'm gonna call it trap music. Like you wanna, again, speak about it with some detail, and that's just what it is. But yeah, Life is Beautiful. Not a collab album I was expecting to get. 2 Chainz and Larry June.
No, sir.
Very different artists, but I like the way they came together on this album. Like going back to it, I enjoyed it more than the first listen, and I only have like 1 skip out of 11 songs, which is a really good
2.
ratio for me.
I got 2. Yeah, this is something that I feel like I underrated on the first live album reaction, but now more and more that I go towards it because I'm not listening to it like at 12 at night on a computer chair, I'm enjoying it now. and like I play it in the background. I love writing out to this music. I got two though, and I think they're the two songs for me that kind of throw off the vibe of the track list, where they feel kind of like outliers, and I could have had this as like separate 2 Chainz tracks.
I'm gonna guess one. Epiphany's one of them.
No, I have Colossal and Generation.
Oh, I love those songs.
I don't like Colossal.
I really like those
I
songs.
don't like the 2 Chainz performance on Colossal. I feel like his flow's a bit disjointed, and it's just he's kind of offbeat for rapping. That's surprising to me because you didn't like Colossal either on first listen, and then Generation. I just feel like it's a generic trap beat for me. Like I feel like the production could have been much better, and that could have been left off
It
the
was
chalkboard.
so needed
you know?
for the track list, though. We were getting all of like these soul chops from Alchemist. Like you needed that trap flavor, and that was a really
But
good
you see,
song
like
for
on
2 Chainz
Epiphany, I do like the first. The only thing I don't like about this is maybe the chorus. I will
That's
say
it.
that,
Still a
but
good song.
I do like the first verse from 2 Chainz.
Yeah. My only skip on this album is the last song, Jean Prouvé, where Larry decides to kind of sing softly, and it just doesn't work for me
It's
too
a nice
much.
performance.
Two
It's
Cha-
so smooth.
2 Chainz' bars don't really land for me either, to be honest. So
I forgot about my ex, just like Mexico. Fire. What do you want me to do? I like it. It's smooth.
you're reading out like, the bar like you want me to be impressed with it. Like
It's not impressive. But I'm
Okay.
just saying, like, it's nice wordplay. Like, it's chill. Be
If
so
you
caught
want.
and Yellowtail from Nobu. I fuck with that. I fuck with the Nobu bars. You were gonna get
if
unk
it rings
bars
your
here.
bell, bro, be happy with it.
Hey, listen, man.
Take it.
Lou paid his taxes on Lab in California, so there we go.
Skipless album. And I think you guys will agree. But you guys let me know. Am I bugging? Do you guys skip the skits? Like, that's a whole conversation to be had. And let us know. We always like to attach recent albums to these series. So which albums should we bring into the future? Maybe some classics, whatever you guys want. Let us know. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way up until the end. And we'll catch you next time. Peace out.